Hi, welcome back. These are the coasters we're going to be making today. These are done with blues and a little bit of white, and I think they look super cute, kind of nautical with the gold flakes in the middle. Yeah, so I will just hop right into the tutorial. I've sped it up a little bit, obviously, so it won't take so long. So here we go. So this first mix I'm gonna make is just with the gold foil flakes. I mix it in here pretty densely because of the way I will pour the coasters. So it's pretty chunky in there. And I just make sure it's all mixed up really well so there's not any pieces that are too big. And next we will be mixing the dark blue shade, which is made with epoxy shades Maui and Caviar, which is basically just a sky blue and a sparkly black mica pigment. So we're going to mix this up super well and try to make sure that there's no chunks in there. Sometimes if I accidentally don't mix these well enough, it will leave little clusters of the pigments. So just make sure you scrape all the sides, the bottom, and even your popsicle stick to make sure you don't get those little pieces. So now I'm just adding the black into there a little bit more to darken that shade up. There we go. I think when you use black in your mica pigments, it just brings a whole another level to the shades that you can get. And this is Ecopoxy shade Pearl. This is the white color we're going to be using, and it is pretty transparent compared to how I mixed that blue one. So step one, we're just going to start by putting the gold flake mixture into the middle, and as you can see, it's pretty dense, so it really is like really opaque when you first put it down. That's kind of what you want, so later on when we pour over top, it'll spread out very nicely and evenly. We're going to use the heat gun on there to pop any of the air bubbles stuck in that gold foil before we move on to the next part of the coasters. So here I'm dropping in some India ink into that blue mixture because it still wasn't quite how I wanted it. This is the Bombay India ink in teal. So now we're going to take this shade and we're going to pour this all along the outside of each of the molds. We're going to try to make it pretty even, but honestly at this point it doesn't matter that much because it'll all even out as the remainder part gets poured. Up next is step 3, and we're just going to pour the pearl shade inside of the navy shade. It doesn't have to quite touch the gold there because we're still going to go in with the clear over top afterwards. And now we're just going to use clear resin and we're going to pour it right over top of the gold foil flakes. And you'll notice just the weight from the resin being poured pushes the gold foil flakes as well as all of the colors into each other, and you'll get a really beautiful blend this way. And it's kind of the higher up you hold your resin, the more force it has as it hits your coaster mold to kind of push out the other elements of your pieces. last step here is just to pop any air bubbles with the heat gun. Don't use a torch for this step when you're using silicone molds because it will melt your mold to your resin. And then just cover it up so no hair or dust could land in it while it's curing. Pay some extra attention to the gold part because I find air bubbles definitely do get trapped in there sometimes. And this is how they look. That's the back side, and then the top there. I kept the top as the top for this one. Sometimes I will use the reverse side depending on the effects. And that's how it looks with the edges all painted gold. Let me know if you try these ones. Thank you for watching.